age. It was a highly sophisticated age with its own techniques, its own talents and its own culture.
But it's quite simple. The English try to teach us that, and I think they tried it with everybody they invaded and everybody took down, to lower your own culture so that you don't eventually fall back on. Fortunately, in a few cases it's not happened, and I think the more that Scotland discusses what's happened to Scotland and where we come from, the more we can stand up and get the chip off our shoulder.
Yes. And I think it is really important to know your own history, and I'm proud to be Scottish. I've got more confidence in it now. I fight for my rights. There was getting rid of this tax, poll tax. It's not Scottish at all, it's an English rule, and nobody wants it in Scotland. People that took photographs all over Scotland. With this history group, what we did, we talked about it, and that's how it started in Scotland and its people. And then we carried on from there. We got the photo investigation group to go out to take these photographs of different monuments, places they're interested in, and people in the street. Maybe I can get up higher. There is a lassie called Liz. She has problems reading and writing and all. And she took photographs and she wrote about it. And she put the photograph and the writing together. And it worked that way for her.
Will you go round the chute, please, David?
I am bored, Mum. I don't know what to be up to. Oh, what's that? A swing? I could swing up and down on that. No, you can't. It is dangerous. And what a mess. Paper, gravel, stones and glass. You can't do nothing here. I not bring you here again. It's not a play area.
Yeah, up there. You David in it.
The starting point for this exhibition was a series of discussions in the project and with local people in the immediate surrounding areas. And as we were talking to them, we began to see the sort of main emerging theme was something to do with people feeling disattached or alienated from their community and their sense of community. And we began to translate that in national terms into a growing search and sense of identity within the Scottish community.
Virginia McLean is a foster mother living in Peckham in southeast London who got involved in a basic education class in a local bookshop. As with John Paul, that involvement was to make her aware of her own history and culture.
I was in this room and Judy Leslie, she always tried to push me. You know, my spelling was really bad, you know, and my writing was big. Really, I know that. So then I went on to return to study in the GCSE. And luckily I had a B grade after all that struggle. So it worked out very well.
We can talk about this one.
Yeah. Lenny is described in the extract as the young man with chubby cheeks. Write a brief description of a person you know. And I'd like at least a paragraph, please. Not just short, fat and balding.
I had a good push. My tutor pushed me a lot. I must give her that. She pushes me a lot. She said, go for it. Because I always have that doubt that I can't do it, even now.
The project her tutor pushed her into was a Black Makers of History publishing project.
From 10 or 15 years ago.
Judy Leslie asked if I would like to get involved. So I said yes, it's part of learning. So I jumped to the opportunity. So we went on our way and did some research. I was actually the last one who did my the writing because I wasn't sure of what to do actually.
Thank you.
I found a book on women. I came back to the group and showed them what I have and told them that I haven't started, and they apologized to say they shouldn't have left me like that because they realized I wasn't experienced in that field. So they helped me along, and I started to do some writing.
I don't know if we should include Maya Angelou because so many people have written about her already. And if we keep adding pieces in, if we keep adding new people in, then it might be a bit of a daunting task for them to finish the book.
Yeah, I think it's very important for her to be in because, first of all, it's not just singing and dancing she does, but she does many other things such as acting, does writing, she's a poet, she's a musician, so it's very important for them to know. As many people know, history is often its story. This is our story, our version. We have tried to paint as true a picture as we could. Too many false pictures have already been painted. We hope that these books show how much more there is to our story than just singing and dancing.
The Black Makers of History project published Not Just Singing and Dancing as the third in a series of books designed to be used in adult literacy classes.
I'd like to introduce two writers of the people who got the three books together. They're Virginia and Lesnar. Hotep, brothers and sisters.
I have started at the book place about 3-4 years ago to improve my writing, arithmetic, and spelling, because I was very, very rusty. At the time, I didn't know I were until I started. I mean, I look back at my work, my goodness, all my relatives and friends. I can even look in at one of the persons. You remember, you always say, Lord, you're right, bad, sir. Yeah.
My life ain't heaven, but it sure ain't hell. I'm not on top, but I call it swell. If I'm able to work and get paid right, and have the luck to be black on a Saturday night.
I think every black person should have a copy of those books at their homes so that they can take them off the shelf ever so often and talk to their children. We have this terrible thing which we say. We say, we are a people with an oral tradition. Because we have an oral tradition, that doesn't mean we shouldn't read. Because oral tradition means we talk to each other about our history. And it is important that we start buying books, putting them on our shelves, taking them down ever so often, reading them to our children, letting our children go to school. And when they go to school, they meet the people on equal terms because they're talking about their history. And it's important that we push this over and over and over into the minds of our children until it becomes second nature to them, that they go out, and when the teacher tells them, well, Christopher Columbus came over and he discovered the West Indies, he can say,
big thing that happened at council. Fast not sure he might. Him and mayor start quarrel. Little mass them catch a fright. If you want to know more, catch it.
I found excellent this. That is the preoccupation with the identity. The historical analysis and the cultural comprehension are absolutely important and indispensable in a kind of education like this. you can see, for example, the difference even in the formal aspect of being together. You know, the group, the team, the persons, the eyes. You know, we almost could discover a smell in watching the film of happiness and the curiosity, you know, and the risk to create something. I think that the education without this has many things to do, because one of the objectives of the practice, educational practice, is to invite the human beings to be human beings. That is, to continue to be curious and creative. And this is what I saw.
I've gained control of my life, for one thing, and more confidence. I've got more confidence now than I ever had. I please myself on what I do, and there's nobody telling me, oh, you do this, you do that. I can please myself and my own boss. I felt a lot better because I could go around supermarkets instead of looking at pictures of tins of beans or tomatoes. I could read.
Edie Woolley has gone on to higher education and last week received her certificate in youth and community work.
I want everybody, or anybody who are even nervous of reading and writing, just to go get it. Just go, do it. It's brilliant. You find yourself.
It seemed to unlock a lot of doors. You had the confidence to open the door and see what was on the other side, whereas before you were that frightened of, well, it was fear of the unknown. So once you had a little bit of education, you had the confidence to open doors and see if you wanted to go for it or not.
Funding for the Black Makers of History project has now ended, but Virginia and the African Publishing Organization are now fighting for the resources to secure a long-term survival.
We determined that it must go forward, otherwise we'll lose the main aim and objective of what we planned.
Thank you all for coming. I will see you next year.
It made me feel I belonged to Scotland, and I thought to help other people to believe their identity.
We have to create, but in order for us to create, we have to fight for freedom. Freedom, without freedom, no curiosity, without freedom, no creation, no recreation. And in the experiences I saw this afternoon, some of them much more next to me, some others not too much next to me, but in all of them I could feel a taste of freedom and a smell of freedom.
I like the man, and I can see that he likes us too. He said it and he showed it on his face and in his feeling.
I think it just proves that the schools in this country seem to treat education as some sort of punishment. You're forced onto it, you've got to do this in this particular way, and it comes over like oppressive rather than what it should be, freedom.
Why, you know, we're still to fight for education. And I just can't understand why we have to fight.
He actually brought his point out for freedom. And if we didn't get a freedom, it's just no point in having literacy.
I've just seen a table, a banquet played in front of me called Freedom. And with being a very, very hungry man, I want more of this freedom.
What is putting up as strong is like lack of education is using it as oppression, and I just think he's absolutely brilliant. That's it.
Forum Television wishes to thank Maya Angelou and Virago Press for the use of a short extract from one of her poems.